Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival on version 1.1. I'm an old guy gaming, and in this episode, we're going to continue working on our capital vessel. We're not going to be able to get the capital vessel to Tier 3 right away, so we are going to have to make it work at Tier 2 until we get the resources and or the optronic bridges that we need to do Tier 3. We did make one Tier 3 extender, but we have to make two, and I didn't have enough stuff to make two. All right, so I did some more work on the Stingray off camera, as you can see. And basically what I did was I took the guns that were on here and I moved them down underneath the wings. And then I reduced, you know, the width of the overall vessel because of the fact that I wasn't able to get it into the hangar properly. And I think I like the new look a little bit better. It's just a little sleeker because before I had, you know, just a bunch of blocky squares on the ends of the wings, and it didn't look very good. And so I think it's looking a little bit better, all things considered. And I also had to make some adjustments to the capital vessel, even with doing that, to get everything to fit. So essentially, I had to change out these untextured blocks here to what they are now in order for me to get the, you know, the capital vessel to fit in there correctly. And so it's still very tight, but it does fit as it needs to, and we're in pretty good shape. So let's take a look at that. Turn our thrusters on here. So we do need to, when we come in here, we do need to make sure we're right in the middle, as close as possible to the middle as we can get. And then we just kind of ease it on in here. And she fits. Why are the landing gears not down? That's weird. There they go. Okay. So yeah, there is not, I mean visually there's room, but because I put those smaller, you know, angled blocks, there actually isn't as much room as it appears. But as long as we stay straight and just back straight out, then we're in pretty good shape. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Oops, see, now it's already getting caught up. We just have to really make sure we're right in the middle here. Whoop, best as we can. Let's get leveled out. I wonder, I might actually be down too low now that I think about it. No, it shouldn't be. Maybe we're up, yeah, maybe we're up too high. Well, the doggone thing went in there earlier without any trouble. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, it's very tight. It's very tight. But it will work. We just have to, like I said, we just have to really line it up and make sure it's as straight as possible. I might have actually been a little too high there, and I might have been hitting the shutter doors with that particular situation. All right, let's turn the thrusters off and hop on out. And you know, I don't remember for a certainty if I actually saved this. So let's actually do that now so we know that it is saved. Do an Alt O here. And I was, see, we want to go to small vessel and we want to go to Stingray. Version A was a temporary save. So why don't we save this as, we'll call this 4.1. There we go. Okay. So it's my intention to continue using the Stingray with the Horizon. Continue using this as our small vessel for a little while longer, because we just have no room for the J-Jet, which is my larger small vessel, on this ship. I mean, we'd have to actually dock it on the roof, which wouldn't work very well because then it wouldn't be protected. So I also heard from a few of you in the comments regarding the building, if you wanted to see building, and the general consensus, I think, was most of you wanted to see some building, but you didn't want, like, you know, a bunch of back-to-back building episodes. So fair enough. That is what we will try and do. So what I'd like to do in this episode is, you know, is get a few things done on the ship and try and get it ready so we can actually start using it. And if I don't end up getting everything done on it in this episode, then I'll probably just finish the rest of it off camera and then just update you guys in the next episode so we can get back to doing some action stuff. Okay, so here's the thing. One of you guys mentioned in the comments, and I agree with this comment, was that I really should try and do two things with these large engines. I should move them somewhere other than the bottom of the ship, because the bottom of the ship is going to take a lot of fire, and I should try and separate them so even if we lost one, we didn't lose both. That's very good advice. So I got to thinking a little bit more about how we might be able to do that. Those blocks are 1 by 3, I think. 1 by 3 or 1 by 4. And so if we can... What I was thinking we might be able to do is we might be able to fit them like up here. So let's go ahead and connect to... Oh, I was having a brain fart there for a second. Let's just connect to the base, and overflow's sort of kind of full. Overflow 2 is sort of kind of full. What about output? Output's got lots of room. Okay, so let's connect to output. Besides moving those engines, the other thing that I want to get done is I want to get all of the T1, or I mean the small engines out of the ship. So we're going to be working on that in this episode too. But here's what my thought was. We've got some just normal blocks here. And I'm wondering if we could maybe put the engines one on each side, somewhere up in here. So I don't know exactly what's underneath this. So let's go ahead and pick up this block here. Okay, there's... Oh, okay. That could be a problem. Yeah, and you know what? I think the constructor's under here. See, the thing about the ship, and I mentioned this already to you guys, is there is not a lot of room on here. The ship is super tight. Yeah, so that isn't gonna quite work too well, is it? What is up above here? We got these angled blocks. We don't want those engines anywhere where we're going to be, walking either, for obvious reasons. That's all mostly thruster stuff there. What's it look like on this side? Oh, we got the warp core there. Okay. That doesn't have a lot of protection, does it? Yeah, we might want to beef up this area with some, a little bit stouter blocks, because the smaller the blocks are, the less hit points they have. Well, up to a point anyway. I don't know, guys. I just don't know where we could put those engines and have room for them. What's going on underneath the guns here? So we've got our extensions up here. Let's try something. We're going to let's grab the engine here and we'll turn it this way, and let's flip it upside down. Okay, now let's go in. Oh, by the way, my my mining vessel is ready to spawn in too. Completely forgot about that. We're going to remove the engine that's down there, which will resolve that radiation problem, but the thing is do we start feeling the radiation from... Yep, as soon as we hit that area, we do. See, I think those are half blocks up there, so we can't put anything else there. Are those half blocks? Yes. All right. Well, okay. What if we do this? The other thing I'd rather not do is completely change the flavor of this ship either. I kind of like that little peaked ceiling there, but we can't have radiation. We see, it doesn't matter, we're still getting it anyway. So it's almost like the extensions don't block that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's a good plan. I don't think that's a good plan. Alright, well, let's go back to... Let's go back to Plan X. Whatever Plan X even is. What if we... See, that's all just going to be the ceiling in there, so we can't really put it there either. You know, I think we're going to have to put it on the bottom. I just don't see any other way to do this, really. And, you know, maybe what we'll do is we'll just make sure we have, you know, combat steel down here, of course, protecting them as best as possible. See, that has 1100 or 1250. No, wait, what is it? Yeah, 1125 hit points. Versus a full block would have, is it 1500? I think so. Yeah, it doesn't tell us down there. One thing we could maybe do, though, is at least put one back here and one up here so they aren't at least right next to each other. So, what's underneath? Oh, we got a thruster there. Okay, we can't put it there. There's just not any room, you guys. There's just not any room on this ship. That's all there is to it. Yeah, this can't be blocked at all because there's a thruster there. And yeah, I know, I could probably move the thruster, but like I said, I don't want to dramatically change the nature of this ship, the way that it looks. The other thing to keep in mind, too, is, I mean, this is not our permanent in-game capital vessel. This is just going to get us by until we can get my blacklight in. So that's the other thing. I don't, you know, we don't want to spend a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on this when it is not going to be with us forever, you know? Okay, what's here? Okay. Yeah, here, let's... Oh. Ooh. Oh, okay. Look at this. Can we... So this side's different. So what do we got in here? Oxygen tanks and fuel tanks on that side. Let's pull those out of there for the moment. All right. Now, let's go ahead and retrieve that block. Put both of those down there. And then I got to figure out which direction this is going, so we want it to go that way. Okay, put that one in there. Does that go all the way back? Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, so the question now then is that going to cause us any kind of radiation problem? As we walk through the ship, where did that come from? Okay, so what about here? Yep. I wonder if we can pull those back a block. What if we stand right here? We're okay if we stay down the middle. We have to get almost right up against the controllers before the radiation starts becoming a problem. I think... Oh wait, where the hell's that engine at? I'm gonna tear this ship completely apart and then not know how to put it back together. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, why are we getting radiation right here? Okay, we're not now. That is weird, man. Unless we have like another small engine somewhere really nearby. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's pause for a second and let's get all of the small generators off of this ship. Let's just do that right now and get it done. Because, you know, even in removing the couple that we did, it actually opened up some spots that we could still potentially use if I could figure out where this radiation's coming from. Okay, so let's find these guys and get rid of them. We know we have one down here that's been causing trouble. And, oh, you know what? Darn it. I should have removed the tag before I picked it up. That's right. Okay, so that takes care of that one. That takes care of that one. That's the one that we didn't remove the tag. I wish the game would just automatically remove those when they disappear, but it doesn't. Take that off. Okay, so I think we've removed all small generators from the ship. Yes, we have. Okay, so that's done. Now, let's go back up here for a minute. Do we still have our radiation problem now? That's got to be one of the big engines then. It's probably that one there. So what would happen if we move both of these guys back a block? Fuel tanks and O2 tanks. Well, fuel tanks will also cause radiation. I'd kind of like to get this hole filled, though. What is this? That's a CPU extender T2. Oh, yeah, right. We're gonna have to remember to make room for those things too. So, all right. Well, let's just do this. Let's throw. Where was that other small fuel tank? Right here. Let's put the fuel tank on this side, all the way in this corner. And we'll put the O2, because it does not do radiation, here. Of course, we got those fuel tanks. Now let's put the Ginnies back in this way. Okay, now let's go see what's going on. Probably could have just left my body in the ship. What in the hell is causing radiation right there? I don't get it. All right, I'm going to cheat. Sorry, guys, I'm going to cheat because I can't figure out what the fuck's going on here. So we're going to go into God mode. And let's ghost down here and see if we can figure out what's going on. There is nothing near this controller that should be generating radiation. Thrusters don't generate radiation, do they? Oh, they do. That's what it is. Okay, it's that thruster. Ah, okay. Okay, that makes more sense then. Yeah. All right, well, you know what? I think we can live with that. We just need to make sure we don't stand right up next to the controller. All right, so that means we can put our engines back the way they were, butted up all the way against where they were before. So let's go ahead and get up here, and we'll uncheat because I still want to do this in survival mode. I just had to figure out why we were getting radiation. I didn't remember or realize that there was a thruster down there. Okay. All the way under here. Because this puts the engines in a really nice, safe, protected place. I mean, relatively safe. Okay. So we want to turn it that way and that way. Okay, good. Good deal. So, those two engines together should give us plenty of power. Let's look at this for a second. Yeah, so that gives us 50,000 power units. So I think we're taking a little bit of a hit because we're just slightly over CPU, but 50,000 power units, so that should be plenty for this ship. Because we had, I think we had, what was it, 8 or 10 small ones, and one of these is equivalent to the same of those. So if we have 2 of these, we've got power, way more power probably than this ship will actually ever need, but better to have too much than not enough. Okay, so we took care of the engine issue. We do have a CPU problem though, so let's take a look at that. What's going on here? So we're 2% down. Before we were only 1% down. So we did add the 2 T1 engines, so that's probably the difference there. I put a couple of RCSs in this ship, and I wonder if we really actually need them. I mean, I'm sure that they're making, you know, that they're helping, but I guess the question is, can we get by without them? That's really what I'm trying to say here. So let's see about that. So the RCSs are right here. I mean, we could even just take one out and see where we're at. 428. Wow, that gave us a shitload of space back, even just taking one out. The one thing I would like to do, though, is I'd actually like to maybe, even if temporarily, put a few more guns on here. Projectile guns in particular, so that we can use them to take out turrets on planets, provided our shield lasts long enough, you know, kind of thing. The other thing we could do is we could change this to just make it a normal constructor and put the, you know, just swap it out. So put the advanced in our base and put the normal on here. That would give us some CPU back, wouldn't it? Let's see here. What am I doing? I'm looking at base. That uses 20,000 CPU. That uses 40,000 CPU. Yeah, we don't necessarily need an advanced constructor on this ship. I mean, it's nice to have one. And what we could do is we could put the advanced back on the ship once we upgrade to tier 3. So I think that's what we ought to do, you guys. I think that's what we ought to do. So, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. So what we're going to do, I guess we're going to have to go into the base to pick up the normal. See, there's a way around these problems usually. You just have to figure it out. You got to figure out what you can do and what you can't do. Is that the advanced? Yes, it is. Okay. So we'll keep you there, and we'll put the normal in here. I guess that was upside down before. Okay. Then we'll put it in upside down. I think we will. Can we get it in there? Yeah. And we'll turn it this way. That's how it was. Presumably to prevent you from falling down in here, I guess. Okay, now how are we? Okay, now we've almost gained 100,000 CPU back just by making those changes. How much does a projectile cannon require? Only 2,500. Yeah, we could put... we'll be able to put a lot of guns on this now. Okay, so I want to try something. Where's that RCS at? It's right here. So this is 75,000. Yeah, that is so much. Let's just see how the ship flies with one RCS. See if we can just make it work. So... yeah, so we've got fuel. Overflow. I've got Pentaxa, but I don't think I have... well, I don't think we need Pentaxa. We won't go near enemy base. Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't turn as well as it was before, but, I mean, it is a capital vessel. We don't necessarily want to expect it to turn like a small vessel. And remember, once we get to tier 3, then we could throw that RCS back in, so we don't... this is not necessarily a permanent choice. How well does it roll? Not too bad for a capital vessel. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to run with just the one RCS for now. I'm not going to bother trying to make this ship, but more aerodynamic. I don't want to put that much effort into it. And I think, we can get by with one RCS until we can get it to tier 3, and then we can put that one back in. Because at this point, I would rather, be able to mount some more guns, even if just temporarily, so that we can attack a POI, and go that route. So, cool. Okay, let's turn these off. So, aside from, from putting a few more guns on here, let's group up. I don't think we really necessarily need to add anything more at this point. I got to replace all the blocks, of course, that I screwed up. So I think it's the Orenwood controller that's the big one. Yeah, that's got 80,000 some odd points there. Or 8,000, rather. That's actually not a ton, is it? Oh no, this is the one that's got all the stuff. Okay, I was gonna say. What the hell, man? We want this to be the ammo controller. There we go. And I might end up moving most of this stuff back into the base now, too, since we put the advanced in the base. But the goal will be to get to tier 3, and then once we get to tier 3, then we can put the other RCS back in, we can put the advanced constructor back in, and then, whatever else we need as much as we can up to tier 3. And I could potentially, depending upon, how... oh my god, that's annoying. Depending upon, the little pockets that we need to fill with the small engines that we took out, I might be able to take this stuff out of here and just make this like a normal floor so we're not, walking on top of that stuff. Because there, there is room. I just got to figure out, where to plop stuff down. And we do have to make sure that we leave a total of 4 blocks worth of space to put the tier 3 extenders when that time comes. So, alright guys, well I think that's it for this episode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to patch the ship back up, fill in all these holes. I'll do that off camera. And then, why do those look weird to me? I don't know. And then when I bring you back in the next episode, we should be ready to get back into the action. And what I want to do is I want to, excuse me, like I said, add a bunch of projectile weapons to the ship and set those to only attack turrets, and then use those to start taking down some of the bigger POIs, you know, as long as our shield holds up. We got a hole there. Huh. Okay. Well, I don't think I ever really intended for this bay to be airtight anyway. It does show, well, it's because we're on a, yeah, that was dumb. I was going to say it shows O2. Yeah, because you're on a breathable planet. So, yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share out the video. And we will catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.